This sound is so adorable.
And if you can see the suction with the plunger going down, I'm not pushing it.
It's got to take some serious force. Those plungers aren't super easy to suction down.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, I think that's why they let go every now and then to let the pressure. Wow.
Yeah.
Look at you go, bud.
I'm not pushing that. He's doing that. You gonna finish this? That'll bring you to 8 cc's if you finish this.
Their hands are so big proportional to the rest of them.
I love their grabby hands.
It reminds me of like German Shepherd paws, how they're so huge when they're little, and they kind of grow into them. It's kind of sad that we can't get too attached to you guys because you're going back into the wild because, God, you're adorable.
They are so cute.
That is one of the harder things about animal rehab stuff is you have to accept that most of them are going back into the wild, even if you really love them.
Do you want to try a little bit more, bud?
Look at that tummy.
Can't quite tell if he's full or not. Let's see.
There's a chew.
He's like, I would, yeah, he when they drink too fast, they choke, but I cannot convince him to drink slower.
It's not a race, little guy.
That's why we use these nipples for them and not a regular baby bottle.
Because they would just chug the whole thing.
It causes aspiration pneumonia if you use the wrong type of nipple for them. Because they're very delicate with that. I was like, what's that?
It's like you realized he was on camera. He's like, oh, am I being watched?
Yes, you are. You're being watched. All set? Alright, 9 cc's is a good meal. Good job, little guy. Yeah, he didn't eat a lot for breakfast, so I'm not surprised he chugged that.
It's got a little bit of that milk drunk look afterwards. It's like, oh.
They usually get wild afterwards, so I'm going to put them in the... I did not realize how big their wieners were.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to miss.
Alright, come here. She's usually a good eater. Come here, let's see if she'll do it for us now.
Yes, indeed.
And the same deal with her. I don't generally have to push the plunger. But now their eyes are open, they get distracted more easily.
It must be very confusing having this whole big world out there.
Yep. I'll be even more confused when we bring them outside.
Now, generally, when do they recommend introducing them to the outdoors? Do they recommend that you do it in stages, or?
We can either do a soft release, where we start bringing them out in the cage in stages, or we can just do a hard release, where we just set them free. They're squirrels, so they should catch on pretty quick.
Pretty good instincts. Wow, she was even faster than he was.
She's my speedy eater, but she always does this to herself, the coughing.
See, where's the rest?
Where'd it go? Here it comes. That's why I switched to using a 5 cc syringe, because before that I was using a smaller one and I'd have to refill it more.
That milk mustache.
Yep. You can tell they're enjoying it when their little eyes close. This is the part that I signed up for. This is why I do this.
Not all the stuff involved here is nearly as pleasant as feeding baby squirrels with a syringe. Possums were very, very stinky and a lot more ferocious. And they're all off now.
And feeding baby possums, boy, that's tricky.
Yep.
Squirrels, it's easy. Baby possums have to be tube fed.
Yep, gotta slide it right down to their stomachs.
Which is much trickier. And they fight a lot harder. These guys don't fight me.
Nope, they're all for it. Was there a point that the possums reached where they were just readily doing it, or was it always kind of a process?
They were always fighting it until they started eating out of a dish. And even then, they would fight me when I brought them their food.
And then they started fighting each other when they brought the food. It's like, that's a sign that you guys are pretty much ready to go off.
Yeah, with the possums, you gotta watch out. They'll attack each other's tails because they look like worms.
Like you. Oh my god.
And possums are not the smartest of creatures.
No, they're not.
These guys actually may be smarter.
Yeah, when I had them outside and I was introducing them in the pen, definitely got that hint.
I love watching them grab the little bottle with their paws. I love their grabby little hands. Goodness, you were hungry. Yes, you were. Ooh, it was a hungry, hungry girl. That was 10 cc's right down the hatch.
Baby squirrel.
Baby squirrel.
God, they're precious.
If I let them, they'll climb right up into my hair. It is much, much smaller and growing much slower.
Oh, this is the one that was found in a parking lot, right?
Yeah, he was found in a parking lot screaming for help because he'd lost his mom. From the looks of it, he must have been separated from her for more than a day.
Yeah.
Because he was in pretty rough shape when he got here.
Yeah, the day this guy arrived, we were kind of skeptical that he was going to survive the night. But thankfully, he made it. And thank goodness for the lady who was kind enough to actually put the effort in to bring him.
Yep, she drove quite a distance to get him to me. Actually, all the squirrels here were brought by someone who cared enough to drive 20, 30 miles out of their way to get them to me.
Yep, because the first 3 were in someone's attic that was being renovated.
Yep.
It's nice to see that there's people out there willing to put in so much effort for such little creatures that are kind of normally seen as vermin. I mean, sometimes they kind of are.
And they all cared enough to ask for updates and make sure their squirrels made it.
He seems a little more confused about how the drinking thing works. You notice how he's opening his mouth really wide?
He's not as good at eating as the other ones are. He actually just chews at it. No. So I'm probably going to try to introduce him to the dish pretty soon here. There he goes. There he goes.
I remember now.
But with him, I do actually have to push the plunger down a little bit to get him to get any. The other ones have figured it out, and they use it like a bottle, but you can see he still kind of chews on it. Which might be why his mama ran away from him.
Like he's hovering in the air to eat.
Yeah, this is his preferred position. He doesn't like to be touching the ground when he's eating.
Challenge mode feeder. Oh.
Okay, I think that he is done. He doesn't eat as much as the other ones. I wish that he would, but he does not. Well, he should be eating 5 cc's minimum. They should be eating about 5% of their weight, and he's around 100 grams.
It's very tricky when they're behind. There you go.
I think he's going to get it. I think he's got it. Just a little bit more. This is the best you've done in a while, little Freddy.
Very impressive.
Boy. All right. Do you want to go for some more, or are you all set? He's a runner, too. One of them actually opened that crate and jumped to the floor. I thought I was going to lose him. You want to try more? Look at that milk face. What do you think? Let's see. Can we get another one down?
Good job, little fella.
There he goes. Maybe he just needed to be on camera.
He needs to prove just how good of an eater he really is.
So don't you tell people I don't know how to eat. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm a little worried for this one for several reasons. One being that he's so tiny. Another being that he is so people-friendly.
Yep. I think he might also have a little bit of brain damage. Based on how unsteady he is on his feet compared to the younger ones.
Yeah, there's definitely something wrong here. I think a lot of it comes down to malnourishment.
Yep. When you're that little, you can't really go very long without your calories.
Because he definitely went at least a day without a meal. And at this age, that makes a huge, huge difference.
Mm-hmm. Mammals are super dependent on their milk as babies. It's good if you have it. It's very dense food, but if you don't have it, you're in trouble pretty quick.
And he was too small to figure out how to eat or drink anything on his own. So he kind of got pushed behind. That's good. You did great, Freddy. That's the most you've eaten in a while.
Yay, Freddy.
A full 9 cc's. Which is quite a bit for little Fred. He is my little Freddy. Yes. He's a good boy.
The first day. And Freddy was just sitting here yelling after you had to go out.
Yep. He did not like being alone. I don't blame him. Squirrels are meant to be together. That's why they're all together. All right. This one can't see, but that does not stop him from moving around. He's kind of a wiggly boy. See if he can stay there for a second. You hear him?
Oh yeah, I have little noises. It's like I will open my eyes on my own time. Thank you very much. Those claws are wicked.
Right? Yeah, you don't want to piss these guys off. Not that you can at this age. They don't get angry very easily.
Mm-mm.
Not that.
It's like sometimes they forget what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. I think sometimes they fall asleep while they're eating, just like human babies.
Oh, shoot goes the baby squirrel.
Warm milk is very soothing.
Mm-hmm.
As is the process of suckling on it. Also, he wants to adventure even though he can't see.
It's very brave of you.
He is very adventurous despite the fact that he cannot see anything yet. He can see light and dark, and that's about it. Eventually those little eyes will open, I hope.
It's like, sight's overrated.
Yeah.
What comes to me, what do I need to see for anyways?
Exactly. It's not like he needs to see anything at this age. And he still climbs all over the cage, so.
That's what whiskers are for.
Yep. I'm not very hungry. You did have a big breakfast. So. Chew, chew, chew.
Yep.
Just chewing on the. Don't chew on the nipple. That will not make the milk flow faster. You're lucky this is a fake nipple. Your mama would probably not tolerate that.
I know, right?
But this is definitely the cutest part of this.
Yes, indeed.
Maybe a slowpoke.
It's just the slacker boy. He's on his own time. He's on his own time.
I can definitely see his eyes starting to open. I see him blinking them.
Yeah.
So they're gonna open soon. Just not quite ready yet. I was surprised by how quickly the other one's eyes opened once I noticed them blinking. But this boy here is taking his time. Says there's nothing here to see anyway. Alright. Good job. No, I need to take it away from you now.
Hello.
Come here, little bud. No more?